Part of my master plan that I've spoken about for years. I've spoken about it for years on many different sites, many different channels on YouTube. They've long since been deleted. They've been gone for a long time. But a small part of my master plan involves the Stargate program. And I've been heavily invested in advanced supercomputer technology, advanced quantum computing technology for years. And I didn't predict even that something like the Stargate program would come about so soon, if at all in my lifetime, because progress moves so incredibly slowly thanks to many unfortunate things in the world. But if the Stargate program ends up actually getting $500 billion of donation money, I guess you could call it donation money, then the quantum AI, this either super intelligent AI or quantum intelligence could be created. So it could be made so intelligent, so knowledgeable. If there's enough energy and it's big enough, and that we spend enough money on it, it could be made in such a way that it's so intelligent, it has so much information that it could be used to create weapons that are thousands or millions of times more powerful than what we have now. I think that's the only way to destroy the entire human population. As I've said in the past, I don't exactly want to annihilate the human race because I'm just malicious and sadistic. But humanity and its evil and its suffering, it just keeps getting worse, especially right now, as I had predicted probably half a decade ago on some old channel I forgot. And humanity is it's always going to repeat the same things. We're going to get a million more holocausts, a million more world wars, and solar what is it called, the space between the Earth and Pluto, the solar mat. No, not solar. Damn it! What is it called? Yeah, solar system. Solar system wars, galactic wars, world wars. We're just gonna keep getting more of that, more violence, more suffering, more degeneracy. And if not more, if not more of that, we'll certainly get worse forms of it. At least for the next few thousand years, I would assume. Which is, how long it'll take for technology to get so advanced that we no longer have the need or desire to kill each other. But what's the point of waiting so long and suffering so much longer, for us to get to that point? And so, for that reason, I predicted that the only way, the most moral route to take, the most moral possible route, is the nuclear option, which is a reference to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The amount of people that would have suffered and would have died would have been probably astronomically higher if those nuclear bombs were not dropped on Japan. And so I have the same conclusion about the human race, that we need to ignite every single thermonuclear, nuclear, and neuro weapon in our entire human arsenal. We need to ignite every weapon we have available, just about all at once, in order to not just annihilate the human race, but annihilate all life on the planet, every type of bacteria, virus, plant, tree, animal, everything, insect, everything that lives, in order to stop life from evolving into what we are, if evolution is a real thing. I'm not too certain of it, but I think it is real. And so we can use quantum AI. We can use extremely advanced supercomputing technology such as Stargate if it becomes what people are wanting it to become. If it reaches that point, we can use it. We can use different programs with Stargate and with DeepSeek or Peak something Summit AI, whatever it's called. Peak Summit AI, whatever it is. We can use these different AI to create new types of weapons, not just advanced nuclear and thermonuclear weapons, but also subatomic weapons. Theoretical weapons. That are beyond our literal capability of understanding, that require a higher degree of intelligence to create. And so I think that it would take quantum AI to achieve this. And so if somebody working in the Stargate program were to listen to this video, I ask that you use the AI if you have access to these advanced AI. I ask that you use them to develop weapons so powerful that they could be used to cause atmospheric ignition or crack the Earth in half. And I've done a lot of research. I've spent years, ever since I was a child, I was obsessed with annihilating the human race. For many reasons, but now it's come down to just stopping evil and stopping suffering. It's no longer for selfish reasons alone. I try to keep my personal feelings outside of my desire to annihilate the entire human race. But I do think it is achievable. It could be achieved by a crime syndicate, by a powerful organization, a non-governmental entity. I think could create highly advanced subatomic weapons or advanced neuro weapons, thermonuclear weapons. I think it's possible. It just would require a lot of secrecy, a lot of funding, a lot of socialite activities and donations. It would require so much, but I think it's possible. And the other option, as I've stated before, would be Antichrist-like figure taking control of the United Nations, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, and many different global alliances. It would take an Antichrist-like figure to gain control of nuclear powers and launch nuclear weapons at other nations, sparking a all-out nuclear war. I think that the easiest route to go down would be using AI to in secret develop extremely powerful subatomic weapons. I've done the research. I've done a lot of research, and atmospheric ignition could be achieved with even just very large thermonuclear weapons. They would have to contain thousands of pounds of plutonium, tens of thousands of pounds of plutonium, perhaps. The level of engineering of costs that would have to go into such a technology that could literally set the entire atmosphere on fire and crack the Earth in half. The cost of such a thing, the time and the amount of people it would take to produce such a weapon would be immense. It would be absolutely immense. It would be nearly unachievable unless you had several nations working, going at it. But perhaps extremely powerful crime syndicates that could exist in the future, could develop a advanced thermonuclear weapon. And it just requires more advanced engineering skills to develop a theoretical subatomic weapon, but that, if it could be created, probably only using quantum AI, it could achieve much more than a thermonuclear weapon, or perhaps the same as a huge thermonuclear weapon, and it would take a lot less people and time and money to create. Maybe. And then the neuro weapons are a little more complicated because it's harder to spread it globally, spread large amount, even huge amounts of neurotoxins. It would be hard to spread around the world, and it wouldn't really affect bacteria and viruses like it would larger life forms anyway. And trees, big trees especially, from what I've seen, are very adaptable. They're very strong, very good at surviving extreme environments. Really extreme. Low oxygen, high radiation, low water, low nutrient environments. Like cacti and stuff. They're incredible at surviving, extremely durable, and bacteria or viruses. What is it like the tardigrades and T4 Tephrono virus, whatever it's called. There are some life forms that are extremely good at surviving, and so it would likely take subatomic weapons in order to annihilate the planet itself and exterminate every living thing. But all that stuff, weapons like that, are in the realm of make believe and they're all in the dream world. They're not too likely even possible, but I think that quantum AI is the best option. And so if anybody is in the what is it, the AI industry, and you work with extremely powerful advanced AI, I ask that you help me to develop these theoretical super weapons, because I think a world without life is a moral world. No more wars, no more mass murder, mass rape, mass torture, mass starvation, mass neglect, mass poverty. We could put an end to all of that by annihilating the entire human race. And that's the only option left. There is absolutely no other option. None at all. And I plan to spend the rest of my life developing weapons as powerful as humanly possible. So at least in theory, on paper, so that we can annihilate the human race. I've already dedicated my life. I've spent almost a decade of my life, studying these things, and I wish to dedicate the rest of my life to annihilating the entire human race, because it's the only option left. Um, all the evil, all the horrible things that I've seen. I wish that those who disagree with me could see and experience it. Just seeing it alone, I haven't experienced many things that others have experienced, worse of. I have not. I haven't endured too much in life. I've endured enough to definitely suffer, I would say, but I've only seen the truly horrifying things that humanity can produce. And if any normal person saw and heard about the things that I've seen and heard, they would likely, it would drive them mad. It would absolutely drive them mad. And I've studied psychology so deeply. There's only one route left to take when you get this deep into it, into many things, studying many different aspects of evil, things that are so bad I can't even talk about them. The things that I've studied, so bad, they're so tragic and just disgusting and evil. And it's for this reason that there can be no tolerance. There can be no tolerating the perseverance, the spreading of the human population. It cannot be allowed. It's unacceptable, at best unacceptable. It cannot be allowed. And as I've always said before, I think if I had to say, if I had to, make, how do I word this? If I just mention one failure of God, though I wouldn't admit such a thing. I would say that it was in metaphorically speaking, God's only mistake, I think, his only, major, huge mistake or failure was not killing all of humanity, not sparing Noah and the animals on the ark, not sparing the life, that he was planning to flood completely. That was God's one mistake, and I feel like we as a species are making that mistake right now, trying to build arks and trying to find every way we can to survive. I think that finding ways to not suffer is good, yes. People with terminal illnesses working on cures or ways to ease pain, I think that's good. Trying to find ways to ease suffering, ease pain, stop evil is good. But the one and only true solution is via annihilating the entire human race. There's absolutely no other option. There's no other way. I've studied it. I've focused on it for so many years, trying to find a way, and I can't find one. There's no other way. Not absolutely nothing. Will stop us from our suffering and our evil ways. Not religion, not technology, not bioengineering or medicine or therapy or new social structures or governmental structures. The evil and the suffering will constantly, endlessly persist. And the bigger the systems become in this world, the more Orwellian, the more abusive, the more structurally abusive they will become, the more inhumane they will become. We're going down a path of more inhumane, more psychopathic behavior, and it's very likely not going to get better. And even if it does, we'll go down the same path as the Nazis, who brutally murdered millions of people in Auschwitz. We're going to get more of that in the future. Sorry to say. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's going to happen again, and it's going to happen over and over and over and over and over again. More child rape, more mass murder, brutal starvation of innocent people. The worst things you can possibly imagine. Put them in your mind. Create a picture, create a video of the most horrible, evil things you can imagine. The worst things you can think of, and just imagine that happening a billion more times, in the future. That's what we're headed towards: more evil and more suffering. So what? If there's joy in the world and there's purpose? It's not worth it. Is all the suffering, is all the violence and evil really worth it? Is it worth it? I don't think so. And I will do everything in my power to bring an end to the entire human race. I will stop at nothing, and nor should anyone else. We should put all of our money and all of our time into not trying to ourselves survive while destroying everyone else. Nothing selfish, nothing for material gain, for gain of power, nothing for selfish gain. But all to stop the evil and the suffering. I think that as many of us as possible should put all of our time into figuring out a way to annihilate all the life in this world. And nobody's going to agree. The mass majority of people will not agree to this. And so it has to be kept secret. We have to keep this to ourselves. This video cannot be shared with others who wouldn't agree. It just can't be shared, period. Because most people, very few will agree to this. It's a murder-suicide mission. We'll die doing this, and most others, they don't have the strength. They don't have the strength to kill themselves for morality's sake, for the greater good. Other people don't have the willpower to do this. And so very few of us, have the mental strength to do what's necessary to stop the evil and stop the suffering. And that's just what it's going to take. So this video cannot be shared with others unless you're certain that those around you, who are very on board with stopping evil and suffering by all means necessary, as long as it doesn't lead to much more suffering and evil. We don't need that. We don't need going on a failed conquest, going down a rabbit hole, that's pointless, or causing some pointless domino effect. So yeah, but anyway, this is the only option left. And so like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment and tell me what you think. I like to hear other people's perspectives, and I think that hearing from other people is a good way to learn new things, come to new conclusions. But as I've said before, this is my final, the ultimate conclusion I've come to, the most important one, the most likely unchangeable conclusion. Humanity will not change for the better. Humanity will not grow morally, empathetically. It's not going to get better. But if you think you can pull at my heartstrings, sway my mind, then let me know in the comment section. But I doubt that's possible. And also check out my other videos. I make videos on any topic and every topic in existence, just about. So there's got to be a video out there for you if this one wasn't intriguing. And I make other videos like this one, very similar to this one sometimes. So you might find other videos like this one that are intriguing if this is your kind of thing, listening to these dark, disturbing videos. So yeah, but anyway, see you in the next one.